Hello, Leslie. Hello, Charito. Nice to have you here again. And we will start in a very short time, in less than 1 minute time. And I hope that the others will join us. Uh,
Yeah, okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hold on.
So let's start. Hello. So I will switch the
Hello.
camera off and we will start.
Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the next Power of Touch, an event in which for 3 years we write on the back of a language towards wasteless world with the members of my global family in Charito and Leslie Country. And I'm so happy and honored to have you here today because the term today, I'm sure, will be close to you. Today's term is mountains. And Charito, I have you on the top of my screen. So you will be the first who I will ask. So when you heard the term mountains for the first time today, what came first to your mind, please?
Wow, very nice. Can you hear me clearly, Michael?
Yes.
And Leslie, good evening, both of you. Mountains, my goodness. These are the huge, we can see it everywhere. In fact, my province is made of seven mountains, seven volcanoes. But you can look at it in two ways. Mountains, the physical ones, these are huge mounds of boulders and rocks and all that. When you go up, it's always elevated. That's the physical mountains, the one where the trees grows and many things. And you go up, and in fact, they said that mountains, it becomes volcanoes when they're, I don't know how true is that. But on the other hand, in life, when we talk about mountains, we always equate it with trials or something we have to tackle in life. You have to climb your mountains to reach the goal. And some uses it in figures of speech that you have to go up the mountains to see the world. So when you're up there, you are succeeding, or you have been on top of others, although knowingly or unknowingly, you may not be competing with them. But when you, on your own way, in your own self, you tackle your problems, which we call it mountains, most of the times, stones, obstacles along the way. So there are two, that's how I look at mountains, Michael. The physical mountain, where trees grow, where God made for all of us, where the fountains and the water sometimes oozes from and goes down to the sea. But the other one is it's a figure of speech. It denotes something like huge obstacles in life. Now you have to tackle. But it's also an achievement that when you reach the top, it means to say that you have achieved what you have wanted for in life. That's for me for the moment. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Charito. Leslie, the same question for you. If you close your eyes and you hear the term mountains, what came first to your mind, please?
Well, Charito will love this. The first thing that came to mind were the mountains in the Philippines. And when I was a stewardess, and I've got very low battery, so let me know if you're having trouble hearing me.
Right now, it's everything fine.
Okay. So when I was a stewardess taking US troops into and out of Vietnam in the 60s, one of my most pleasurable layovers was in the Philippines. And one of the things we were told was to beware of the Hucks. This is a tribe of people, Hucks, that come down from the mountains, and they really love US passports. So they're looking to gain US passports. But that's just one small story. The other part of it that Tarita was talking about, that while the mountain may appear to be above the ground, every one of those trees is growing in both directions. So it looks like the mountain has no grasp on the foundation of the earth, But in reality, every single one of those trees and plants grows in both directions. And I will end with that we are all born at the top of the mountain with everything we need, everything required at birth. And at that top of the mountain, everything is perfect. And then through our lives, we slowly descend the mountain until we get to ground level. And at some point, we begin asking ourselves the question, is this all there is? And then we begin to ascend the mountain through our life back to oneness with all there is, where we return and let go of all those beliefs and trials and tribulations, because I believe that the final wish for the universe is that we all meet together at the top of the mountain. Thank you, Michael and Charito.
Thank you very much, Leslie. That was a really beautiful image. Usse, I'm so happy you are there. And I have for you the same question. The term today is mountains. And my question is, if you close your eyes and you hear the term mountains, what came first to your mind, please?
Thank you, Michael, for this opportunity. For me, a mountain is more than just a rise of land. It is a teacher, silence, strong and patient. It stands through winds, rain, and the time. Remind us that true strength does not shoot. It is simple, India. The mountain responds how we touch. When we protect it, it gives us clean water that flow into rivers. When we respect it, it provides peace, fresh air, and a home of many living things. But when we harm it, it cutting its forests, meaning it part or polluting its streams, it crises through landslides, floods, and droughts. A mountain teach us the meaning of balance. It shows us that greatness takes time. Its roots remind us that even the tallest brings a grounded in humility, just like leadership. A mountain must be taught with care. A good leader stands firm like a mountain, not to block others, but to guide them higher. A leader with a gentle touch brings life, just as a mountain gives birth to rivers that nourish the earth below. Today, let us learn about the mountain. Let us rise with purpose, stay grounded in value, and protect the land that gives us life. But the mountain listens, and it responds to how we touch. When we touch it with love, it gives us peace. When we touch it with respect, it gives us strength. And when we stand beside it with humility, it reminds us that we too are part of something great, living us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jose. You know, the term mountain came to me when I spent a weekend in the mountains of Czech Republic. I spent it with Jane, with the love of my life. And Czech Republic is set in the middle of a Europe, but on all the borders, all around the country, there are mountains. They are not high, but they are mountains. And we spent the weekend over there. The leaves has been colorful. It was really, really beautiful. And the term came from me and James at the same time when we discussed it. And Charito and Leslie, you don't know that Usse is climbing the mountain. Today, he sent a letter to the president of his country, offering the support of his as an Industry 5.0 ambassador in Tanzania. It was written in Swahili, and it is unbelievable. You know, I remember so well Usse when he was there for the first time. His English was not his strength, but he keep with us for 3 years almost, and he is one of the mountains as he described it. Carita, do you love more to be on the top of the mountains, or do you love more to be in the on the other part, on the bottom of the mountains, enjoying the rivers and so on? What is your for you more favorable?
Oh, it has to be equated my realities, Michael. You see, when you want me to choose from the two, I have to look back from my past until now. We have huge mountains in our province, and those mountains are very difficult to go up. And you don't know that there are snakes, there's venomous snakes, and many things negative. No, not everybody can go up to the top of the mountain. You choose which mountain you're going to walk up. So you see, during my time when I was younger, I would never dare go up the mountains. There are mountains which are habitable, and there were so many which are not. Like what Leslie said a while ago, that's true. The hacks, it's you case. Those are the people, the left, which we call them the left uh, uh, inclined people. They're outside the law, most of them. So they hide in the mountains because there they will not be able to be seen by the authorities. And so if I have to be honest about it, I love mountains, but not mountains that is so high. But if it's the mountains like there in your place where you can move up. And by the way, many years back, I had an accident. I could not walk without crutches. So mountains are no for me. So I have to adapt myself. I would rather be in a plain place by the sea. But with everything that's going in the world right now, with all the earthquakes, the typhoons, and the tsunamis, I'd rather stay in the middle, not top of the mountain, if you understand what I mean, or not beside the sea or the beach house or whatever. I would rather be here where I live. Like, although I live, we call it the uptown of Cagayan de Oro. This is where the subdivisions are. So when there are floods, flooding goes down to the sea, in the city, but but there's no mountain above us that's so high. So I would say, in reality, in truth, right now, I cannot choose between the two. I'd rather be at the middle. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Charito. Leslie, I do remember that on Irada you mentioned for several times that the people live and work in mountains because of the three suns, because of the temperature, and so on. So, when you look at mountains from the perspective of the people of Irada, which you know so well, what do you think? Do they like to be more on the top of the mountains or in the middle or on the bottom or inside the mountain? And you are muted. Yes.
That's an interesting question. So they don't all live in the mountain, they work in the mountain.
Okay,
They
okay.
work in the mountain because it's cool, and their dwellings are, on the surface, but they are built into berms, which are hills, right, if you will, where they hollow out homes under the berm of grass, um, which inside protects them from the heat. Because the sun there are three suns, and 3/4 of the day is sunlit, and so because of the nature of truffles, and they're so dear and delicate, they have to be transported into inside the mountain where it's very cool. I don't know that the question has an answer in the sense, the way you asked it, that they would prefer it another way. They've never known another way. So they protect their products a lot of the teaching and the schooling is done inside the mountain, but they don't live there. Some of the old spirits do. That's where they reside. So to get that clear. The other thing is I want to answer the question you asked Charito, because what I to continue with my visualization of us waking up at sea level and asking the question, is this all there is? And then we begin learning and we begin growing in conscious awareness, and we begin to spend the rest of our life ascending the mountain. However, what I didn't tell you is in this visualization, there are vista points along the way, places where you can stop and look out. And when you look down from where you came, you see people coming, ascending the mountain. And if you're on a higher vista, as you climb higher, there's another vista. And you look down and you see people on the vista below you, and people constantly moving from ground level toward the top. So, where I want to be is in the ascension, going from complete lack of awareness, not thinking, reacting, and finally getting curious whenever that is. And for some, it's at their deathbed. But for most of us, it's not. And we begin this ascension. But the beauty of it is to realize that we're all headed there. Whenever we are ready, we will begin the ascension to higher awareness, and we will make our stops at the vista points. So, and ultimately, at the end of our life, I see a large egg from where we all came, and the pieces to put the egg together for the universe are each one of us as we again reach the very top. So I am happy to be on the ascension and have pure faith that even if you go through your life and you never ask this question, and you're happy to just live in default, automatic, primarily in fear, at the end, you will see, right? And you will get the awareness so that nobody comes back to the universe without having ascended in awareness and lifted to a higher moral and spiritual way of being. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Leslie. We see, during the Power of Touch talks, you reveal a lot of from your life. But my question right now, referring to mountains, is have you ever considered before joining Industry 5.0 that one day you will contact the president of your country offering him support?
Yes, Michael. It's the first time when I joined to Industry 5.0, 5.0. I believe in my heart one day I will talk to president and I will inform him or her about our aim to live in harmony with nature, technology, ecosystem, and to make a partnership in order to make our world a better place for all.
The reason why I was asking Use is whether you see this point as the top of the mountain or if it's just a platform which just Leslie described. How do you feel it if you compare your current state? Are you ascending or descending the mountain?
So, sorry, Michael, you can repeat your question?
Yes, if you think that you are, when you look at your life at this moment, are you ascending or are you going down the mountain? Are you going up the mountain or down the mountain?
I'm going up to the mountain, not down to the mountain. Thank you.
That's great. That's great. And I feel exactly the same. You know, when I was a kid, when I was 6 years young, my mom uh, have a second marriage. So she was divorced, and I get from the first father, I get stuttering and so on. So it's not a nice story. But then my new father, which lived with my mom until today, he is 83. He was a climber, and he teach us, me and my brother, who is 2 years older, how to climb. And he was a sporting guy, so we go for skiing every time when there was a snow. We went to skiing and so on. So I know how to climb a mountain, and I do remember, you know, when you climb this really narrow mountain, this where it's hard to climb. And you go down, and there are no stairs, nothing like that. So you have to take the rope and then ascend in a special way. I do remember when I did it for the first time, I was so scared. I was so scared. But then I realized it's not hard. It's very easy. You climb the mountain for, I don't know, 1 hour, but you are down in 1 minute or 2 minutes time, easily, safely. And just now I'm thinking when speaking about the mountains, whether the direction matters. Because if we are connected, as all of you said, we are the mountains. I see Charito as a mountain, Leslie, Usi, all of us. We are the mountains because we are visible. We are the points to which the people look at. And all of you, you are leaders. In a way, not the current way that leader is someone who is rich or powerful. No. We are leaders because we live as a role models. We are the first doers. And I think this is very important. And what we did not touch, just Leslie touch it partly, that we as humans, time to time, we dig the hole through the mountains to establish a tunnel. And my question to you, Charito, do you love tunnels?
Hello, Michael. Your question is, do I love tunnels?
Yes. The
Oh,
hole through the mountains.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I look at it this way. Actually, I'm afraid of closed spaces.
I see.
So a tunnel is, in my imagination, is sort of fearful. But then when I went to like Hong Kong, there was the underground tunnel. I went to London, this underground train and all that. I had to heal myself, right? I have to be at the moment. I have to adjust myself. I have to tell myself, why are you afraid? Everybody's doing it. I work with the tunnel, the trains undergrounds for 2 stories below. So because of that fear, I did not want to go there. I just wanted to be on top, well, on the streets. But then the streets of London are so traffic. So that was the better alternative. So I tried to make myself like it, because that does not kill. I was so afraid, but it did not kill me. So I was there and I felt happy. So in everywhere I went, to any other countries, and there have these tunnels, I decided to like it. You can always control your fear and your feeling. That's what they call a mind setting. I have to be there at the moment. I have to be adjusted, or I will be left out. What will I do? So I have to like it, whether I like it or not. So I had the feeling little by little, because a few years back I was into traveling so many places, and there were so many tunnels, and I realized I like it because of the speed, the ease of the transport, and you see places, although inside the tunnel it's dark. So nowadays, Michael, I like it already. But before before those things happened to me, I was so afraid, tunnels. But people, I imagine that when you are in the middle of the tunnel, at the middle of the mountain, what if there's an earthquake? It will fall down and all, it will be destroyed and all that. So if they all topple down, they will die inside. So it was rather, my fear was born out of fear of dying. Leslie knows, can explain better that. Anyway, right now, if you're going to ask me tunnels, I look at it in a different perspective. So I felt it, and now I'm looking forward to other places in the world where, if I am able and God willing, give me the chance, I will be loving all the tunnels that I will be passing through in the future. Amen. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much. And I have to apologize to Tracy for not sending the link. So sorry, Tracy. It was my mistake. I didn't include it in the invitation. So I'm happy that you are here. And the term today is a mountain. So let me ask you the first question. If you close your eyes and you hear the term mountain, what came first to your mind?
Thank you, Michael. I hear mountain. I use the mountains a lot in my content, because every time I saw the emoji, the mountain, I yeah, most likely I will use it. Mountain also means difficulty sometimes to me. We always say you might have a mountain to climb, but literally, I think a mountain stands the most for me will be power. Sometimes it could be a barrier, but mainly for power and strength. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Leslie. Tracy, sorry. Leslie, mountains serve usually as the source of stones for buildings, for bridges, and so on. Do you think that when we take the stones out of the mountains and we make out of it the stairs or buildings, that they keep the power of the mountain inside?
That's a great question, because I really am, my mind is on the context that we've created over 25 minutes. And so I wanted to go somewhere else, but I will answer the question. the but it's really this. Okay, yes, they are, I don't want to say this. Well, let's put it this way. We don't know that it's not so. And what I have learned is just because I don't know how something works doesn't mean that it isn't working. So I would say it's possible. There's a lot of things we have perfect faith in that we can't explain how it works, but we've seen it work. So I would choose, as Charito chose, she chose to embrace her fear, and then she outweighed it through repetition. So yeah, you're still going to be afraid of it could collapse, etc. But it's a choice to think something different. And then every time she went through a tunnel, she began to have faith that it over fear, which is where we want to go. So I'm going to say that I do want to go back to one thing, and because this has been a really good conversation. Those, let me see if I can remember what it was. I say because it got really. Um, oh yes, okay. The mountain. Your experience, Michael. When we climb the mountain, until we have both hands and feet on the mountain, even if it's just 6 inches, even if you've just begun or you're halfway up, you do not know the next step until the universe, which resides within you through tuition, guides your hand and gives you the answer for the next step. We don't know where that crevice is when we begin, but it is the universe within us that tells us our next step. I think for most of my life, I've thought that God was up there, out there somewhere. I am extremely clear by the empirical evidence I have seen, things happening for which I do not understand, that the universe resides within our conscious mind, always. And the whisper of our intuition is what tells us to reach up. Typically, though, that is outshadowed by that fear Charito was talking about. And we have 6 of them. That one is the fear of death. So our job then is to listen to the tiny voice, the whisper of the universe or God, and consider that God really is within us. It wasn't just a figure of speech, but I can't tell you exactly scientifically how it works yet. And I will understand one day, but that doesn't mean that it isn't working. So, getting back to your boulders, I choose to believe that whether they're within the mountain, and I can choose that, or whether they're serving another purpose, they are in service, which is the entire purpose of human life. We were put here to serve others, but we will have different vehicles of serving as we grow and ascend the mountain. So for 20 years, my purpose was raising my children and doing a good job. Then I had the next purpose, which is helping companies do X, Y, or Z. And now I'm in another purpose of totally giving everything I've learned away. So I'll go back to you because I'm eating up the time. But gosh, thanks for this today, Michael and Charito and Usi and Tracy.
Thank you very much, Leslie. Usi, the next question is for you. Are you living in a location of mountains where the mountains are, or are you living in a flat city at the moment?
I'm living in straight city, not near to the mountain. But sometimes I travel from the different part of Zanzibar, and I'm climbing some of mountain in order to learn something. You know, Michael, when you travel, you visiting, you go outside your home, and you will see something different, especially in mountain. Just a fresh air to compare our homes. Flat city, flat plain. But in mountain, it is different. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Usi. Tracy, I have seen that you posted a Chinese proverb related to mountains. Can you read it or give us another one?
Yes, Michael. I wrote down that a foolish man moves a mountain. That's a very old story. I think 1,000 years back. Anyway, so it's a man who lives in the mountains, and he decided to build a road for his people, his villagers, to get out of the mountains, because in the old time it took months for them to go outside the mountains, and people laugh at him. The smart man laughed at him, said, "This mountain is so mighty; it will take forever for you to, cut through, build a road." And he said, "Then my sons, my grandsons, all those future generations will continue. Eventually, it will be built." And the heavenly God heard this story, and the God moved the mountain for him. It just shows the determination is tremendous. Doesn't matter how big the barrier it is, as long as you have a will to continue. I guess even the foolish man can conquer the barrier, the mountain, and build a road to reach the outside world. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much. In Czech, we have one proverb which says approximately, when a man when the mountain cannot go to a man, the man have to go to the mountain, something like that. I cannot translate it exactly. We have 2 minutes left, and I feel that that was unbelievable strong talk again today. We are much closer to the wasteless world. From all what I have heard, from all what we discuss, from all the impressions which are in front of my eyes, just after we finish, I go to a new factory to implement Industry 5.0 principles. And I will be on the way. And the factory is in the one of the middle of the country. There are smaller mountains or hills, and it is in the hills. And I did not plan this, but it is so. There is no coincidence, and I'm so happy that we have the possibility to talk today, share today, and be the mountains on the construction sites of Wasteless World. And I would like to wish you have a nice time for your waste and wastings in all its forms. Stay safe, be free, and be human. And please be the mountain which everyone sees from the distance and everyone looks for its shadow and protection. Thanks a lot and have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Michael. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.